let's talk about one of the greatest mysteries in the world, Flight MH370. Now, what is Flight MH370? Well, basically, Flight MH370 was a Malaysian Airlines flight that was supposed to go from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing Airport. This flight was scheduled over a decade ago, and during the flight, after it took off from Malaysia, inside an hour into the flight, the plane immediately lost contact with everyone, stopped contact with everyone, the pilots, and then it deviated and turned back and then went on a completely different flight path. And it was tracked for a while without any communication. And then after a while, it went missing in the Indian Ocean. Now, to this day, we don't know what exactly happened to the flight or why it suddenly turned course. There are a lot of stories going on what might have happened, but nothing's confirmed yet. They're all just theories and all. Now, the biggest issue with this is we never managed to find the wreckage or any semblance of wreckage. Now, there were some parts here and there, small parts here and there that we found, but nothing substantial. So basically, it's almost like the flight just disappeared, which is really unusual, and nobody's been able to figure out why. And right now, they're about to. Back then, they started a few investigations that was covered an entire huge area around which the flight could disappear, but still nothing was found. And for over a decade, basically, everyone had given up hope, but now the investigation has suddenly restarted. Now, this is between a private company and the Malaysian government, a contract to find the flight, and so the investigations just started, and now we have renewed hope of maybe finding the flight and finally giving some peace to the family members or the passengers that were on that flight. Now, remember, there were 239 people on that flight, including the cabin crew, the pilots, and the passengers. And the fact that we haven't been able to do anything about this is really terrifying. I mean, something that huge just disappearing off the face of the earth. It's really unsettling to think about it. I mean, how could something like that happen without anyone knowing or seeing what happened? So we really do need some answers on what happened to that flight, and hopefully this investigation will provide some answers, because apparently there's some new technology now that wasn't available back then, and they are using it to try and find out, pinpoint the exact locations where the flights might have crash landed. Now, I don't know the specifics of this or whether this investigation is based on that, but I'm assuming that's what they're going to be going on. And for the first time, we think that it might be in a specific area and we might find the wreckage. Now, what condition we might find the wreckage in, I don't know. If it fell into the ocean and it's been at the bottom of the ocean, there's a good chance that it might have burst apart and it might be buried in the ocean since it's been over a decade. So there is a lot of issues here, but hopefully we do find out what happened and we finally get some answers. And mainly, we want to find the black box. Now, the black box contains the recordings of everything the pilots and the cabin crew were talking about inside the pilot's cockpit during the flight. And hopefully that will give us answers on why the plane suddenly just turned around in a completely different direction from its objective course, and then went really far away and then suddenly disappeared. Yeah, we do need a lot of answers for that, and we also need answers on why the plane completely cut off contact. Now, whether it was on purpose or whether it's something happened, the plane that communications got cut. Now there are some rumors of a fire happening inside the flight, and that's the reason why the communication got cut and the plane turned around to find an airport, but couldn't because they couldn't see anything because of smoke. But that plane went really far, and that's, I don't know, it's all confusing, and we do need answers, and hopefully we can find the black box and get to the bottom of this once and for all.